and welcome to our community. This is a social media style platform where you can share your makes, connect with other sewists, and use hashtags to explore materials and patterns. I'm Kate from Minerva, and I'll be sure to link my personal profile down below so you can follow me here if you'd like. I'm so glad you're joining me for this video. I'm going to be sharing 6 patterns that I will be sewing up shortly just to inspire you and share with you about these amazing patterns. Keep in mind that you can use hashtags to search these designs, as well as on the product page for each of these you can scroll to see if anybody else has made them and what kinds of fabrics they used and if they did any hacks, that sort of thing. Also keep in mind you can sign up for the Minerva Craft Club for constant savings. I will leave more information on that down below. I also wanted to remind you that there's a great little coupon code for signing up for a Minerva account. It is totally free and it opens up a ton of opportunities for you to connect with other creators. Once you've done that, it'd be great if you could take a second and hit that follow button right above this video beside our name. Again, totally free. It just means we're going to show up on your feed so you don't miss any future content. You can also like, share, and save this video if it was helpful for you. It really does help us out. And as always, leave any questions or comments you have for me down below so I can get back to you. Now let's get to the patterns. The first pattern I have to share with you is the Style Arc Sunny Knit Top. So this pattern has some really interesting seam details. It has the drop shoulder on it, as well as a horizontal seam that goes around the body, kind of at the waistline. And then on the back top portion of the bodice, it has a center back seam. This is an oversized cocoon style sweater with a hemmed bottom and hemmed full length sleeves. And it's rated as a medium difficulty. Recommended fabrics are knits. Next up we have the Style Arc Victor Woven Jean. And this is a really interesting pattern as well. It has this kind of cargo pants style vibe because of these big side patch pockets on it. The bottoms are kind of tapered down into the ankle, and I would call them a cropped pant. They feature a full fly, a back yoke, and this really cool front hem dart, I believe I would call it. It's rated as a medium to challenging pattern. Recommended fabrics are of course wovens, so something like a denim or a linen or even a heavier weight cotton, maybe a canvas, something like that, depending on what look you want. Next up I have Simplicity 8377. And this is a pattern for a long cardigan with long sleeves, but it does give you instructions on how to hack it in different places to make it short sleeve, to make it cropped, to make it mid-length, all of these different opportunities for you to adapt the pattern to exactly what you're looking for. You can make it sleeveless, you can make it high-low, you can make some side slits in it, add a belt. There are really no end to the possibilities here. Again, this is a knit pattern, so I would recommend something a little bit heavier, maybe like a French terry or even a Ponte de Roma, as long as it has the recommended stretch. And this pattern doesn't have a difficulty rating, but I would say it's a very simple design, and if you're a confident beginner and you've worked with knits before, I think you would do just fine. Next up is the Deer and Doe Fumeterre skirt. So this is a long style skirt, and there's 2 different options. You can either do buttons all the way down the front, or you can do a zip fly. It also has patch pocket options for on the hips and belt loops. And this pattern is for woven fabrics. Something with a little more structure is going to give it that really pretty A-line shape. If you wanted it to have more drape to it, go with a drapier fabric like a viscose. And their difficulty rating on this is a number 3, which is middle of the road on their difficulty scale. I think the hardest part would probably be the closure, whether you do the buttons or the zip fly. So whatever you're more comfortable with or want to push yourself towards, that's what you'll choose. Next up is the New Look 6413. This is a jumpsuit and a dress pattern. So we have the full length jumpsuit here with the drop shoulder dolman sleeve, or you can have either the shorter length dress or the longer length dress, and there's an option for a flutter sleeve. So the dolman, it's still a dolman, it just comes out further and wider. There's also a pattern piece for a cute little belt. This is also a woven pattern, and I would suggest something lightweight, flowy, like a crepe, a georgette, a viscose, a rayon, some sort of challis, maybe even a linen, like a chambray. There's a lot of options for this, again, depending on what look you want. This pattern is kind of deceiving if you don't look closely. There is a center front invisible zip. So hopefully we can sew it just as well as in here where we can't notice the zip. And it does have the facing around the neckline to accommodate for that V-neck front. And it has this really neat elasticated waist here. So this would be a really quick sew. I think the most difficult part is going to be that invisible zip. So I would say confident beginner to intermediate, depending on your skill level with invisible zips. The rest is very straightforward. And the final pattern I have to share with you is one that I have been looking at for a long time, and that is the Friday Pattern Co. Wilder gown. This pattern is a beauty. It is a flowy, wide, loose-fitting tiered dress. It has the options for the 2 gathered tiers on the front, or you can make it a shirt with no gathered tiers, or a dress with just 1 gathered tier. And then it also has the gathered neckline with the tie on it. I've seen a lot of people leave this open, and it's so elegant that way as well. It has these really nice raglan sleeves, which I think are really flattering on my personal body because I do have broader shoulders. And it also has 2 sleeve options, so you can either make a longer sleeve or a shorter sleeve dress or shirt. And the recommended fabrics on this are drapey woven fabrics. Again, something like a challis or a georgette. I think you could even go with a nice lightweight linen, double gauze. There's a lot of options for you for the Wilder gown. And that's all the patterns I have to share with you today. So thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, following, and commenting on this video. I'm so glad you're part of this community, and I can't wait to see what you create. Happy making! Bye!